Hi guys, welcome to the Backheel podcast. We are very low on numbers. I believe this is the smallest amount we've had so far. I don't think we've had a 3-man before, unless Dave was away. Sorry, not Dave. Savoury Dip was away. Hi, Savoury Dip. Welcome back. And Pete's here. But we've got rid of Phil and Kev, not by any choice of our own. They just didn't want to come out and play today. And so we're here to talk England. Make sure you've gone and checked out the video on CGH channel. We did another football quiz. It was good fun about the England squad. Sorry, all you non-English fans, but it was hard. Go and give it a try.
Well, they've had a good laugh this week anyway. So.
They have had a good laugh this week, boys, because I'm going to say it. France played shit.
They did.
I just want to say that at the very start of this podcast. France, I thought, were dog shit.
Yeah, I wasn't impressed. I wasn't impressed at all.
Well, it says it all. And I had part of my bet that I had was Mbappe to have at least one shot on target, and that was the only thing that let me down.
Because actually, for once, I don't know. I have a theory, boys. I know we don't get many views, but I got a feeling Gareth Southgate watched our podcasts. Because we've mentioned a few times about playing the 4-3-3 and him not doing it and what we won. And we even made one saying what he would go and do. And
he did it.
He didn't. He didn't do the thing that we told him to go and that he was going to play. We told him what we wanted him to play, and he's done it. And he did it all tournament. He didn't change it, which is what we expected in the France game. We expected a 5 at the back shuffle, and I was like, I don't want that. Yeah. And he didn't. And then we stuck Walker on Mbappe, and he just kind of told him to man mark. Saka played on the right side and dropped back when needed. Tactically, I thought we fucking nailed it this tournament.
Yeah, tactically we've been brilliant.
We have.
Fair play to Southgate. He sorted it right out.
Because
the one game we looked a little bit ropey was the USA, but we still managed to do it every time.
I'm gonna say it now. I think if we should have won that game.
Yeah,
I'm still bemused as to how we didn't win the game. 99 times out of 100 in that situation, Harry Kane scores that penalty. He did it literally earlier in the game. There wasn't that much more tension on it. He was still to pull us back into the game because we were going to be losing otherwise. 99 times out of 100, though, he scores. The ref was dog shit. We haven't played against a pressing team except from the Americans, and that's the only team we struggled against. I don't think we would have struggled against. Morocco are kind of pressing, I suppose, but I don't think we would have struggled against Argentina or Croatia because I don't think. Well, Croatia are a little bit pressing, but they haven't got the legs for it, and Argentina play their own game.
Yep. Yeah, I think the one thing I can take out of that match, which I've not been able to do for a long, long time, not one player played badly.
Not the start. No, there was the like I said, Sterling and Grealish couldn't get into the game because they were late-ish subs. But none of the subs did anything in that game. To be fair,
no. But no one actually turned around and had a really bad game. We made a couple of mistakes. There was a couple of passes put through that were given to France. That's the only criticism I'd say. We should have made France work for every ball. A couple of times we had wayward passes, and I'm like, oh, that looks dodgy. But we recovered it well.
Yeah, it was just mega sloppy football at that point. It wasn't even the fact we were playing badly. It was just.
I think that was the big difference. We then went back and won the ball back straight away.
Yeah, well, I did like. It was. I think it was BBC at the minute, or maybe it was ITV. I can't remember which one was doing it, but one of them's doing a recovery time stat, which I'm a big fan of because that's a big thing that.
Yeah.
How you win world class games is.
Yeah. How quickly you get the ball back.
Yeah, because I don't know. We were asleep, but France hadn't done a lot.
I think it was one of those luck just weren't on our side. You look at Maguire's header that just went just the wrong side of the post. Rashford's free kick.
Oh my gosh!
These are just pure luck moments that any other time.
Can I say even that though? I know Phil had a moan about it in I think the CHP Discord about it, saying that why Rashford shouldn't be
Stick him on there.
Rashford was the exact person I said that should go on it.
Who else would have taken?
Well, exactly. Rashford scored one in this tournament already.
Exactly.
The only other person that was going to be it was Mason Mount, and even then I was like, no, I'd rather have Rashford on it.
Yeah. Well, especially after Rashford's already put one away from a similar distance, similar size, and that's the thing, is that confidence is there. He knows he's done it.
I just wish, I know we haven't got to it yet, but I wish maybe we'd tried something like the Dutch did. Their free kick.
Just go.
Well, instead of smacking it, they knocked it down the side, and then Weghorst just slots it in, because that was a fantastic goal. But
that was a good goal.
2020 vision. What is it? 2020. What the fuck they say? Hindsight's 2020 or whatever. I don't know. That fucking one.
Yeah.
I just think it was one of those, everything, just that little bit of luck. We didn't have that little bit of luck that we needed.
Yeah, that was it. It was literally a luck thing. I think 9 times out of 10, that goal Giroud scored, Maguire would have got there first 9 times out of 10. It was just a one-off worldie of a pass from Griezmann.
And I think
who, by the way, was by far and away the best player on the pitch, but probably should have been sent off.
I was about to say, this is what I really liked. I kind of like the way England let them put a few tackles in, and then I really thought they had gone, hold on a minute, this guy's only a couple away from me, only a couple of tackles away from a yellow. And they were leaving digs in, and they were going down quite easily to get those free kicks.
Mm-hmm.
Because once there was 4 or 5 in a row, Griezmann then got booked. He got booked. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, hold on a minute, he's getting frustrated now. There's not going to be long before.
Well, I said to my missus, I'd have probably brought Grealish on about 15, 20 minutes earlier than what he did.
Because he can go down very easy.
Because
he draws those free kicks in.
He draws free kicks from teams when they probably don't want to give him away.
Yeah. And I would have stuck him on him. Yeah. Just so to Grealish, follow him around. Get a man down.
Their goal, nothing we could have done about it. It was just, we switched off a little bit.
Well, the first goal.
Pickford was obviously unsighted from.
Pickford saw it a little bit late, otherwise he'd get into
He was very close to getting it anyway.
I'll be honest, the angle that they showed it at, I thought, having played in goal a little bit, I was like, you probably should have been on the move a bit quicker than he was, though.
Yeah, maybe. It's one of those.
Well, again, that's maybe me picking holes.
It did show the ball was moving 103 kilometers an hour when he hit it.
Oh yeah, it was ridiculously good goal, mate. I'm not doubting that.
I only turned around to get a drink, and by the time I'd come back around, grabbed my drink, it was in. It was like
great player though.
Yeah, he's a good player.
What I would have said, the only other thing I would have said for that first 15 minutes or so, we come out and it was like a very nervous England at first.
Yeah.
Once they scored, we stepped up again. I'm like, this is what we want to see from kickoff.
Right. I'm gonna ask you a question though, because is it? I'm not sure if we necessarily weren't switched on. It's that England were being pressed in that first 17 minutes, and the second France scored, they changed their system and sat back.
Yeah,
which opened the game for us.
Because then we opened up. Yeah,
but the second we were being pressed, which is what happened against the USA as well, where we struggled, is that we were being pressed, and we couldn't do anything with it, or we kept giving the ball away and making those silly passes.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I think their manager had seen how we started against Senegal. Where we just didn't get going for 20 minutes, 25 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
Before, if we can do the same as what Senegal did, but nick a goal, then that gives us that chance of being on top a little bit. But to be fair to England, they just I think you play that game 100 times, we win 99 of them.
I think the one really, really clever thing they did was where we had Walker marking Mbappe, they took Foden right out of the game. A lot of time Foden's in quiet because he just couldn't really do much.
I don't think it was that. I just don't think he's suited to playing wide.
He's just behind the striker.
He's one of these, I think, that...
He came more into the game when after we'd scored and he started coming into the middle and started floating a bit more.
Well, that's why I liked when... Sometimes I always said I'd play him just behind Kane, and every now and again they could switch around because Kane likes dropping deeper.
Yeah.
And Foden's got that pace to cut in front then.
Yeah, he should be the head of the... If you're playing a diamond in midfield or you're playing the three, he should be the tip of that.
You'll see very often them two swap round.
We did think going into the game that he might switch out Henderson.
Yeah.
And we didn't want that because he had been having a great game. Foden doesn't get in that midfield free for me either though, if you put him in the centre.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't get in. He didn't get in ahead of Rice, Bellingham or Henderson.
Which all three
mad,
of them
by the way.
All three of them have been fantastic all tournament.
It's a shame that's likely going to be Henderson's last World Cup, though.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be his last England game.
No. I think he might retire after the Euros.
But I think you might see 3 or 4 of them say that's it for me in England now.
Yeah. What? Between now and the next the next game or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, He said
I think Walker will probably step away from it.
I do wonder if we're going to get the same thing as what's happened with Vardy. So Vardy never has retired. He's just been told he's not going to be picked. And Hardy said, it was fine. Like Gareth came and spoke to me properly. I think he actually went around his house and actually spoke to him properly about it. And said, look, this is my reasonings. I want to bring through this person, this person, this person, this person. If we have so many out, then can I still call on you? And Vardy's gone, yeah, always.
Yeah.
Which I think it's the right way to do it, isn't it? You can't build for the future if you'll keep relying on 30, 31, 32, 33-year-olds.
Yeah. Well, that's it. We've got that many right backs coming through anyway.
Walker stepping down does make...
Walker stepping down makes complete sense, doesn't it? You've got Trent, you've got Reece James, you've got countless others.
Yeah.
Kyle Walker-Peters even.
Yeah.
But isn't it nice the fact for the whole of the England squad? I think there's only going to be 2 realistically that are going to would step away from it really. Like I can see Harry Kane still playing at the next tournament. Nick Pope's Kieran Trippier, I think, will step away.
Yeah, Trippier will probably step away.
So Nick Pope's 30. So to be fair, he can still be 34 at the next World Cup and still probably be in the squad. It doesn't matter too much for a goalkeeper.
No.
Walker will be 36 by then. He ain't gonna make it.
No,
Trippier's 30 will be 36. Same. Connor Cody would be 33 by then. Maybe he might still have a couple of games. He might still make the squad. Henderson won't because he's 32 now. I think he'll make the Euros at 34.
I think he'll play the Euros. That'll be it.
Callum Wilson's 30, so that'll probably be his last and only World Cup.
I don't think he gets called up by England again.
Called up again? I think he'll be called up again.
Maybe in the squads and stuff, but
I think
he's only there because of Ivan Toney being naughty though, isn't he? So
yeah, well that's it. It's just how much trouble he's going to get in, and then you still got Tammy Abraham to come into the fold. The future's bright though. The fact is, if you consider we're going to have Tomori in 4 years' time, 28 prime.
Mark Gahey 26.
Yeah. Prime. By the way, Jude Bellingham 23 in 4 years' time.
That's mental. Isn't it?
You'll have Ben White coming. How old's Ben White now?
Well, based on what we said in the episode of LCGH, the speculation that's going around about Pete, you were saying that.
So Ben White would be 29.
Basically,
not falling out.
From what sounds of things, a big falling out with the hierarchy, and that will go probably past the manager and not if Southgate goes, which
people will look
it's odd. I got a feeling he might go, if I'm being honest. I think he will. The hierarchy are going to say, you're not allowed to pick Ben White. If the falling out has been that bad, then that'll be that.
Yeah.
It's not if there is Jude Bellingham. It's not if there is he's one of our world class players. He'd just be like, you're not allowed to pick him.
And the thing is, you've got some class players that didn't even make this squad. The likes of Harvey Elliott going to be coming through as well.
Yeah.
You've got some really good players sitting.
I know it's a bit biased because we're Liverpool fans, but I would like.
But no, I think he's great. I think he's great.
Because I don't think Carvalho's committed to one or the other yet, has he?
No.
And I actually think I think he's actually better than Harvey, but there we are.
Scored in a friendly for us the other day as well.
I do still worry about the lack of players going through though.
But again, did we see the likes of Bellingham going as well as he did 4 years ago? You know, like he was 15, like he was only just breaking into the Birmingham squad. I didn't expect him to be a starter for England 4 years ago. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I didn't expect. I don't know who else has sort of had a rise from sort of nowhere. To be fair, even somebody like Henderson being as solid and as needed as he was in those games for us, being as good. Yeah. Declan Rice was playing for Ireland. Jack Grealish was probably playing for Ireland, I think.
Yeah.
Last 2 tournaments, people like Saka and that now established themselves as starters.
I think it's going to make. I actually think it's going to make it really hard to break into this England squad now. As a tournament squad anyway, because we've had 2 tournaments in a row, 2 years in a row, where the squad is very similar, and not a lot changed.
I think that someone said to me, someone pointed out to me how close this squad are.
Yeah,
a lot of those players are very, very close. Well, now. It's actually a team again. It's not. They forget completely what clubs you pay for. When they're over there together, you can see how close they are.
Yeah, this is what I mean. I was watching. Gary Neville and Ian Wright talking about it, and they were saying when they used to get called up for England, you knew there was a divide because Liverpool, Man United players wouldn't speak to each other, Arsenal, Tottenham players wouldn't speak to each other. But now you see them all; they're all sat around the pool, they're all having a laugh, they're all
playing with Dave.
Get it?
Yeah, playing with Dave the Cat.
Yeah, they all had a. Robbie Williams went in and gave him a concert.
Yeah, a private concert.
A private concert.
That's weird, by the way.
They said they're all just chilling out as mates.
Yeah.
They forget what club you play for. We're an actual team,
and that's how it should be. And I hope it's weird because 5 weeks ago I was calling for Southgate to be sacked, and I own up to that. And to some degree, I still back that. I know Southgate had it right this tournament, but I don't think he's a born winner. And somebody, don't get me wrong, 5 weeks ago when I said it, Tuchel being called up, it was unlikely. But at least if you had, like I said, somebody like Rooney, at least he's got a winning mentality and has actually won things.
Rooney would be my pick.
It was the only realistic one at short-term notice after how bad we were.
Oh, Gerrard.
Well, today I've looked at the odds.
Again, we didn't win a massive as much as he should have done, to be fair, mate. So I would have still stuck with Rooney. Which is mad.
I checked the odds today just as a bit of a query, and I had a look, and the 2 favourites by far are sitting at 4-1 and 5-1.
And they are Tuchel and Steven Gerrard.
Tuchel's second favourite.
Oh, okay. Who's first?
Poch.
Oh, I said Poch, actually, didn't I?
I'd take Poch.
So,
Poch's favourite.
What I'd like, though, if Poch does come in, keep the backroom staff the same. And then just maybe Southgate maybe takes a step up to technical director or something like that.
The only moan I've got was who was third favourite. Please do not do it.
Who is that?
Brendan Rodgers was third favourite.
I'd take him.
I wouldn't.
I know it sounds mental, but I don't want a Northern Irish manager.
No, I don't. But
I can live with a foreign one. I don't want
the thing for me.
Nation one.
Yes, it's just for me, that way.
Tuchel's a cup manager. Most of the cups that he's lost are through penalty shootouts. When he was at Chelsea, and I think he would do well. I always said if Klopp ever went, when he was at Chelsea, I said if Klopp ever went, I'd love Tuchel to come to Liverpool. I like the way he plays.
So what was actually discussed? We said it in our we were talking about it in our DMs. So we were maybe talking about it, the fact that maybe Southgate's even considering it. Maybe suggests that he probably is going to go. It's weird.
He said in an interview yesterday.
His contract isn't up, so why is he?
It's up at the Euros.
It's up at the end of the Euros, but he said yesterday in an interview that it takes a lot of energy being an England manager. That to me says I'm done.
He's done.
And the big thing for me is how many managers and national managers that get to walk out on their terms.
Yeah, not many.
And nobody wants that. Not many people want Southgate to walk at the minute.
I don't necessarily want him
talents.
to walk. I want him to walk if the right manager's thereafter. So we mentioned, I was going through some of the people. I was looking at that transfer market website, which I think is amazing, by the way.
No, yeah.
Would love them to sponsor us one day on anything. That'd be fucking amazing.
Yeah, if you're watching Transfer Market, get in touch with Dan.
So I said I would like Tuchel, but I think it will be to stick the average English manager again, which would be the Gerrards, and then Dyche maybe, and then I mentioned the fact that Bruce is available. That scares me. It does scare me. It does scare me because he's well in with the FA. I know
he's done. He won't get another job ever again.
My fact.
Please don't let it be Gerrard and Bruce assistant.
The fact of the matter is that he is so in with them. I was a bit like,
yeah. But do you know what? I was sitting there thinking, Southgate. Do you know what? I'd love to see him, and this is the only time I'd ever want him to do well. I reckon he could walk into that Everton job and save them.
why would you want him to do well? I don't rate it ever.
No, but because I quite like Southgate as a manager.
I didn't like him
as England manager.
Fine. It works.
But someone says to me, what would he do? Where would he go? Because would he go to a club? He'll be Championship. I went, no, I think he'll be the one to save Everton.
Do you know where I think he'll end up? His next job will be like manager. It'll be somewhere glamorous, but it won't be like. It'll be somewhere like he'll be the Monaco manager, for example.
Yeah, or he'll get another international job like a little team like Malta or
he is the only
just somewhere he can go and put his feet up and improve the team.
Yeah,
because he knows how to do it, doesn't he?
Because
Scotland maybe.
But the fact, fucking hell!
I was about to say the one thing I think he deserves to do. He never really succeeded, and he always got looked down on as a club manager. But if I was him, I'd be like, I want to show people I can do it.
Do you know what though? Like people say that he didn't do that bad of a job at Middlesbrough.
He didn't.
Like he was.
Let's have a look. I'll have a Google now. I'm going to find out his club record.
So it wasn't. I remember it wasn't the greatest. I can imagine him going, I want to prove that I can do it.
So Borough here. Oh no, he didn't do great actually on record.
No, I'm sure he didn't.
29.8% win rate. Ugh.
But it's Middlesbrough when they were going through a really sticky patch.
Yeah, this is why I think he should want to go. Do you know what? I want to prove to people I can do it. I don't like with England. You're very limited. You can only pick what's in front of you. But as a club manager, you can. I think he could do well, and it could quite just prove himself again to people. Shut the doubters up.
But do you know what? The more that we talked about Southgate getting maybe stepping down, the more I keep thinking of the final one that I said about maybe being the option, which is Steve Holland taking charge.
I'd be happy with that.
Like give him a chance, because I think we've got some friendlies, haven't we? First.
Yeah, I think so. I know we've playing.
There we go. We got. Oh no, it's creating a qualifying. To be honest, that makes it much harder. We're straight into qualifying in March. Italy first game. Oh, but then after that,
Steve Holland is picked.
We do have Ukraine at home, Malta away, Macedonia at home, Ukraine away, Scotland away. I mean, in theory, we could have the Scotland's one is a friendly. And then we've got Italy at home, Malta at home, Macedonia away. Like he could, I mean, in theory, the group could be wrapped up by sort of October if results went the right way.
Yeah, we shouldn't be losing a game in that. Really, should we?
We should be able to be better. But be better than, as long as we're above Italy, we win the group, don't we? That's it. Beat Italy, and we'll be above no one's going to finish above us. No. Above us or Italy. So no, I'd like Steve Holland to be the manager. To be honest, I don't think it upsets the apple cart too much. The fact is, we've got 2 or 3 different assistant managers as well at the minute.
I think the
worrying thing is, get away with dropping one, and then, to be honest, I wouldn't mind seeing Jordan Henderson sticking around as being when he's selected, being an extra coach. getting his coaching.
You've got
badges.
people like Milner and that will go in and do that.
Yeah, but it wouldn't make sense for Milner to be pulled away from Liverpool. I'm saying if Henderson's picked for England, he could be then playing as a player coach.
The only worry about Steve Holland, he's the same odds as Lampard, Cooper, and Gerrard.
See, he's got to be better odds than Lampard and Cooper, surely. Yeah. I don't think
16 to 1.
I don't think no matter what with England, I don't think you prize him away from somebody away from a club of the.
And I think what's even worse, they're 16 to 1, 14 to 1 is Graham Potter.
He's not going to leave Chelsea, is he?
Why would you?
You're not going to take away from.
No, you're not going to leave your Chelsea job. So goes
you're not going to go away from the Nottingham Forest job, I don't think, either.
No.
The Chelsea job.
And the only one in between Potter and Brendan Rodgers is Eddie Howe at 10 to 1.
And he's not going. Eddie Howe is my is my absolute number one pick.
Yeah, 10 to 1.
He's not realistic.
He's not going to leave.
So that's why I don't take him.
Not unless they do something that they've always really gone against. Another club manager.
What?
As a national manager.
It's too much, mate. It's too much.
Yeah.
You can't do both.
The last real one I know about that was any of sort of decent standing was Van Gaal at PSV in Australia, I think it was. That was a weird one back in, what was that, 2003, 2004, something like that. Of course it is, but it's still too hard on anybody.
It's a lot of work there. Especially if you start underperforming at one. The criticism you're going to get.
Yeah. But, yeah.
Yeah, it's a, I don't know. I think he does walk, and I think it's a long, drawn-out process before anyone else is brought in.
Well, we have got until March, so do you hold your nerve as the England setup and sort of wait for somebody to maybe be sacked?
Possibly.
Or do you take what's available now? It's one of them, isn't it?
Yeah.
I personally think I'd want Southgate to stay for the Euros. And then him to go and go.
I would like him to stay.
That's going to be it.
I would like him to stay, but I just can't see it.
With the Euro so close now, because we're already 6 months further ahead than we would be anyway for the next competition, as well as us having the Euros last year. They've been so close together. Like I think he can probably stick it out, but then...
Yeah. Mind you, I think if he even sticks it out, they're definitely going to throw their contracts in front of him now to see if he'll take it.
Well, this is it. It's going to be a case of... Does he...
Yeah, I'm just wondering, did they give him to the end of the season, like the March, April, May games, get out of the way, and then see how we're getting on in the... Because our domestic games, rather than the World Cup, were useless.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
I think a lot depends on that as well. If Southgate sticks around, they might just say, "Look, thanks, but you've done your time."
Well, you think end of season? To be fair, end of season is only 23rd, 26th of March games. So that's the two big ones: is Italy away, Ukraine at home.
Yeah.
So if we was to do that, then the person that comes in at the end of the season, their first job is Malta away, Macedonia at home.
It's a good start for a minute.
That's not bad. Yeah. Ukraine away, wherever the hell that will be.
You could kind of have free reign on the squad with them.
I was about to say, I'm not being funny, but the squad at the minute, a lot of it picks itself. No matter what manager comes in. A lot of that squad picks itself.
But what I'd like to see, if a new manager come in, bring players in that don't normally get a call up.
Yeah. To say.
Or just on the periphery and just say, right, we'll bring them in now. Give them a couple of games to see how they get on. If they get on, then that's them being a mainstay in the...
For the first time in a long time, there's more than like 2 or 3 names that pick themselves.
Yeah.
You've got a decent, almost whole squad.
It always used to be our first 11 was always predictable from the start, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Neville, Terry, Ferdinand, Ashley Cole, David Beckham,
we're starting to get
Gerrard,
back to that time.
Whoever we wanted to play on the left side, Rooney and whoever, you know.
I think we're starting to get back to that.
I think there's 7.
What, in the current squad?
In the current squad that automatically just start every game.
Yeah, I think for sure you got your Pickford. Definitely has proved himself as our England number one again.
Yeah, Pickford, Stones,
Maguire.
Yeah,
I think Maguire could play forever at this point now. I think he's cemented himself as an England legend.
Yeah,
and I know that's mental to say. By
that's
the way.
crazy compared to what was there.
I honestly hope, because like watching this tournament and then listening to interviews that he's done, there is a fucking good player in there somewhere.
Yeah,
I was talking to that,
and I hope he gets I hope he either gets in form for Man United or he finds himself getting a really good move to Italy or getting a really good move to Spain.
Well, do you know where I was?
We said it last week where he needs to go, and I know you won't like it, Deb. But
to Newcastle.
He has to go to Newcastle at this point.
Do you know where I'd really like him? And I was thinking about today.
There's no better team for him to go to. He's guaranteed to have eyes. Well, he's guaranteed to have eyes on him. They're chasing for Champions League football. Get on the boat before it leaves, sort of thing. You know.
There's somewhere else that I think. Do you know what? Defensive, they were very, very strong. They've lost a really good defender. The way he runs with that ball into the middle as well, I'd actually think he'd do a job at Chelsea. Now Rudiger's gone.
They've still got some good centre backs now, though.
I mean, you wouldn't want to come across Koulibaly and Maguire together, would you? Jesus Christ!
I think they would work really, really well at Chelsea.
But then But then again, Sven Botman and Maguire excite me as well. Actually,
yeah. Seeing that as well, I could see him going somewhere like West Ham.
Yeah, but again, do you take that risk with where they are in the table at the minute? I'd rather go as Maguire if I'm leaving United for where I've got lots of money.
Yeah, I know.
I'd rather go to another club where I maybe slightly less money, maybe equivalent money.
Yeah,
which is the only other clubs that outside the big six really that can compete at the minute are Newcastle, and there's a real big feel factor around the club. He's already got Nick Pope there. He's got Callum Wilson there.
Yeah,
he's probably gonna have. I'm gonna say it now. He's probably gonna have James Maddison there. I've got this feeling that one's going to get done.
I don't think he goes to Newcastle.
I think he does. I think it's been on the cards for far too long, and it does. When you get an English player going in another English club, 9 times out of 10, I know we've used that phrase a lot, but 9 times out of 10, they usually end up at that club. The only time it hasn't really, when somebody's been linked as much as Maddison has been to Newcastle, was Gerrard being linked to Chelsea.
Yeah,
and that was
fucking close. That was
done.
Yeah. Like he was very close to signing the contract.
Yeah, he was gonna sign it. It was
So I don't know, but then again, and then after your Maguire Stones, you've got your Bellingham, you got your Rice, you got your
Foden.
You've got to start Foden and Saka and
Kane
really in that squad somewhere. It's mad. Again, Saka's maybe interchangeable. Foden's a little bit interchangeable. Kane, I think at the minute you've still got to start Kane.
Yeah, I think Bellingham starts every game, doesn't he? Without
Bellingham, it's weird, but Kane is not the first name on the sheet anymore.
Yeah, Jude Bellingham.
Bellingham is above him. Declan Rice is above him. I think. I'd argue Stones and
do you know what's mad, right? How well we played at the Euros. Calvin Phillips was arguably our best player
at the Euros. Yeah.
And he barely got a look in.
Yeah.
I think that says so much more about how good this squad is, though.
Yeah.
That we've improved from last year.
He's one player I would like to see
we've
move
not changed
on.
the squad. Well,
I always said
he was. I'm about that one because I don't know. Do you want him to move on because he's had so many? He's had that really bad shoulder injury. I'd rather see him see if he can take hold of his game again and get into the Man City squad towards the end of this season. And if he can, then he's at Man City for the rest of his career. And if he's not, well, he's only wasted one season at Man City. Yeah. Probably can get a transfer in the summer to
I'd love to see him playing for you. I'd love to see him playing for you. I'll be honest. I'd love to see Calvin Phillips at Liverpool. I think he'd be fucking brilliant for you.
If Fabinho goes, then he would play in Fabinho's role. That's the thing.
When he joined City, I got so much stick.
I love Fabinho
for saying. I got so much stick for saying that Calvin Phillips has ruined himself at the minute. Done himself in, not ruined himself, but done himself in by joining a City. All I would say is look at Grealish. Grealish is still now struggling to get those goals.
Grealish is the one that you've got to look at there. Yeah, I think Phillips has been unlucky.
I don't think it's a great. I think it's more.
He's like Grealish has gone to be in the big fish. Sorry, a small fish in a big pond rather than a big fish in a small pond, which is what he was at Villa. Is that what you were thinking there?
Calvin Phillips really worried me though. It's just he was an outstanding player at Leeds. You go into City, and even outstanding players, there's only one man really, one or two players that are automatically going to play at City. Your Haalands and your Edersons. Not many players are going to be guaranteed starters.
Question: is Grealish worth hanging on at Man City? Because
no, I think he would go.
De Bruyne isn't going to have too many more seasons at Man City.
You look the way I see it. If you look,
Bernardo Silva's linked away every fucking season, regardless.
Mahrez was their top goal scorer last season. He still can't get a start.
But again, I'm going to say, come back to it. Pep's not going to be there forever. This is the longest Pep's ever been at a club. Pep is itching to move. I know he is.
You'll start seeing Foden get starts every single game.
We have.
Sunderland has scored. Who was it?
Diallo again.
Ahmed Diallo. What a fucking legend.
Penalty.
For you guys, as from Liverpool Man U point of thing, you can get fucked, but... Pen, nice.
He is...
Connor Townsend with the foul. I'm just reading what BBC Sport put. So this is what we're currently doing on the podcast. But yes, England, I'm pleased with, but not pleased with. It's a weird one. I stood there after the game in my shower going, I don't know how we lost that.
Right. Do you know what makes me think though? I was dreading going into this World Cup at one point, thinking this where we got to, that would be the absolute maximum we'd get. Going into the Euros, I'd be like, do you know what? We've performed well in 2 tournaments. We've actually got a chance.
I think there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure though. If we don't go to Euros and win it, and Southgate is still manager, he gets sacked instantly.
Yeah. I'm gonna say it now. I'd be pissed off if we don't win the Euros now.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who we play. I'm going to be pissed off if we don't win the Euros. We're talking. It's only just it's 18 months away. We're further ahead, in my opinion, than Spain, because a more rounded thing. If Spain had a better striker, they'd be playing him already. We're further ahead than. I think we're probably even with France. I think France are probably more of the favourites, but their squad, they played shit the other day. I think we're further ahead than Portugal. I think we're further ahead than Germany. I think we're still better than the Italians, despite Phil thinking they'll win the World Cup. Who else is left after that? Belgium are past it. Holland, have never got enough depth.
You look what's happened with Germany already.
Germany have got a lot of a rebuild to do.
I think you just have to look at with the Holland thing. You just have to look at their goalkeeping situation to see what an absolute mess they're in.
By the way,
talking of the Netherlands, I was about to say
he could play in that. He could play in the Premier League. That goalkeeper,
which
is mental. The fact is that he is so. Yeah, he's still going to be around the not too far from 13% of his games are played in his rest of his career have been played at a World Cup.
He's 29 now, and he's and they're the backup keepers.
Yeah, he ain't gonna get
30 odd.
Get a move, is he?
Yeah. He might get a move January. He might get a good move in January.
Well, he's at Heerenveen, so it's not a bad team for that.
It's not. Yeah. But you expect more from Holland, don't you? Really, with the squad they've got.
Yeah. Well, as we're talking about, and we'll move on from England. We'll talk about that Argentina-Holland game. Again, it's coming back to it with the refs, by the way. How bad were the refs in these 2 games?
I honestly think the referee performance in the whole of the World Cup has been dog shit.
Yeah.
Well, that referee's now been sent back home, isn't he?
Noppert, that's his name. Noppert.
Yeah, he's been sent back home already after the Argentina game.
You can't lose control of that. Literally, it became every foul. By the way, now that Holland are out, their goalkeepers that they had at the World Cup, one has 2 caps, one has 6, and their starting goalkeeper has 5 caps.
Yep, and they're all been at the World Cup.
13 caps between them, and that's the Ajax goal backup. Oh, well, that's Ajax's second or third choice goalkeeper, which is even more mental. He's 39 years old, and then Feyenoord's, I don't know whether he's their first choice all the time or not, but it's not great.
It's crazy.
It's weird. The one thing I've noticed about the World Cup is the lack of depth in strikers teams have got.
Yeah,
it's like everyone's taken this route that Spain did 2010, 2004,
and it's come back to bite them in the ass.
And it's come back to bite them in the ass where they've concentrated completely on midfield.
They played with
and not bothered. And not bothered with strikers.
Yeah, and I think that cost Holland by not starting with one, because Weghorst came on and actually looked good because they played to his system as well, and that changed the game. And I'll be honest, I look at Argentina, and throughout history, in fact, since as long as I can remember, maybe the 2006 World Cup, I can't remember what they were like at 2002, I'll be honest, but since 2006 World Cup, they've never had defenders that are or at least centre backs that are 6'5", 6'6".
No,
with the exception of maybe Walter Samuel.
Yeah, I was just about to say,
he's the only tall one I can think of. I don't think he was particularly tall.
That's Poch. Poch was a defender, wasn't he? But I don't think
he's not that tall either. And
no.
they've never really developed very tall centre backs. I would have been shoving Weghorst on from the start and just playing long ball all game, and just confusing the shit out of him.
Look what happened.
He's 6 foot. He's only 6 foot, Walter Samuel.
And he was the smallest one up there, weren't he? Because at one point they were sticking at Ireland at the weekend.
Yeah.
Against Argentina. They had how many 6-footers up front in the end? I think it was 3 or 4.
Well, they ended up with Van Dijk going forward, but they had
Luke de Jong.
They had Luke de Jong. That was what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Weghorst.
And maybe one of their other players. I can't remember.
You look when they started playing long ball, they destroyed Argentina.
Yeah,
2 goals in 8 minutes.
Because they should have gone for height. They're not.
And what did they do?
They have got some slightly taller players in their squad, but they're not their best centre backs. So I don't know. Go. They approached it wrong.
That's why it confused me. They started playing the passing game as soon as extra time started again.
You can't beat a tall striker, dude. I think every squad's got a need for one.
Well, that's the only reason Carroll made that 2010 World Cup squad, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was it 2010? Wait, no. 2010 we started Heskey, didn't we?
No, 2010 was Andy Carroll. I'm sure it was.
Or was he 20?
Or was it 2014?
I think he might have been 2014. England World. Anyway, it is something that every squad needs, and it's weird that we've come away from it. Just every year.
So if anyone's watching and you've got slightly tall kids,
get
them on the park and
get them in the. No, I was going to say get them in the van, but don't do that. Don't do that.
It was Crouch and Heskey were in the 2010.
Yeah, there you go.
We still had Heskey. We still had Heskey
and Crouch.
Big units, you know what I mean?
Mad, isn't it? Yeah, great.
Well, I'm just looking at Holland's strikers there, and obviously they've got Depay, but the other 3 that they've got, Weghorst, Victor Janssen, and Luke de Jong, are all big units.
Yeah.
They're all 6 foot plus.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Argentina really I think Holland approached that really wrong and managed to. Well, it came back to fuck them in the ass, really.
Yeah. Should have stuck with that long ball technique into extra time. They shocked Argentina.
Which
didn't have to handle them.
Is the worst bit about it all. I think the only team that I've left in it that I was actually I'm a bit worried about were Argentina, and I think they've been pretty
average.
Crap! I said it in the last week. Well, I didn't think they'd win it.
Quiet.
And now I think they might, because I don't know. I think they might be able to do something against France, but
I really want Morocco to win it now.
Right, shall we talk about the 2 shockers then? So Croatia winning on penalties against Brazil. I
don't think that's a bit.
But the fact that they've won two penalties in a row now.
Yeah,
that's pretty good going.
I think it's a shock them going there, but beating Brazil is
And then it's still beating Brazil at the end of the day, isn't it? It's still beating the world's greatest team of all time.
Who were pretty average as well.
Which I had as winners. and they have been naff. But yes, Morocco beats in Portugal in normal time, and Portugal again looking crap. And shall we decide now? Ronaldo's. We mentioned it in our DMs again. We'll go back to talking about them. Our football podcast. Ronaldo's last ever game, yes or no?
Yes.
No.
I think so.
What, for Portugal? Or
No, ever.
last ever game?
Ever.
No.
Yeah.
Fabrizio Romano's apparently come out. Well, he's come out and he's really, really normally good.
He is.
Apparently
I don't.
He's said he's had the offer. They've had the offer. He's waiting to see if a European team comes in.
I'm going to say it now. No European team in the top 5 leagues coming for him.
Agreed.
No one.
It's America or Middle East if he's going anywhere.
And that's something he's going to have to decide on.
And
because
honestly,
the teams that he
may
might be interested in, he doesn't want to play Europa League.
No, he wants Champions League.
The only realistic place that he's got at the minute is one of the teams that shock their way to getting into Champions League, or a team that are shocking their way in, but have money to back up if they do get in, or they supposedly do, which is obviously Newcastle. And Newcastle have already said they don't want him.
No.
So
who's left in the Champions League?
Well,
he can't play anyway, can he?
No, he can't play it this year. But it's going to be he's going to want
Yeah.
Champions League if he's staying in Europe. He isn't going to want to play in Europa League. But again, he's not going to want to go outside the top 5 leagues either.
No, he goes to America or Middle East.
He's not a benefit to PSG or anywhere. He's not a benefit.
No, he's not.
To any of these teams.
He may as well retire than go and play in them 2 leagues.
The only reason,
He'll earn more money.
Right.
Being retired.
I'm going to say it now, Nate, the only way Ronaldo stays in Europe is Neymar does the move, which I've said it the other week, that Neymar makes his move back to Brazil, which I can see happening. And Ronaldo comes in for 1 or 2 seasons, sells him a few T-shirts, more than a few T-shirts for the record, and we end up with in their final season together, Ronaldo and Messi.
Yeah,
too late though, in my opinion.
The only thing that got me thinking, I thought about him going, and I was chatting about it at work, and there's a few records that he's got that Messi's only a few behind. If he gives up now, there's a good chance he'll lose those.
Yeah,
to Messi, and he won't want that.
But I'd argue the fact.
I honestly think Messi retires end of the season anyway.
I think they'll both go 1 year together.
If he wins the World Cup, that's him retiring it.
I'm going to say it now. I wouldn't be surprised if there's something in Messi's contract that he can retire at the World Cup.
Yeah.
I bet there's something in his contract that says he can choose to whenever, if he wants to retire mid-season, he just can. Because he had the World Cup in mind. I bet there is something in his contract because we look at the Mbappe contract. Anything's possible at PSG, surely.
Yeah, you do whatever you want. Yeah, if you get along with Mbappe, you get what you want.
Donnarumma's probably got a contract for like 78 goats at any time he presses a button or something stupid. You know, what he does with the goats is up to him. Yeah. Whilst we're talking about PSG and Chockers, though, I want to talk about in the last round the Hakimi shithousery against Spain. Oh my God, this guy! I love him. I love Hakimi with a passion now. He beat Spain with a winning penalty to knock out Spain at the World Cup. Spain, the country that he's born and bred in Madrid, played for Real Madrid, then goes and does a celebration that he does with his Spanish teammate Sergio Ramos at PSG because Sergio Ramos didn't make the squad. Oh my God, that shit couldn't get any better.
After he'd scored a Panenka
as well. Like, it was
busted.
It was perfect. And I am all in on Morocco winning this World Cup now. If they can beat France.
Do you know, if they could, it would be amazing. Can you imagine Morocco as world champions?
I watch a guy on YouTube called Simon Wilson. I don't know if you've heard of him.
I know Simon Wilson does the travelling.
He's just done one where he went to Morocco to watch the quarter-final.
Oh, yeah.
And there's like 200,000 people in this square at Marrakesh just watching the game.
You see the security guard?
Yeah.
The TikTok of the security guard. There's one. He's watching a fan
in the game. And
you can see how much it means.
The penalty went in. That was the Spain game, wasn't it? And he looks over his shoulder.
Yeah.
And, like he had been apparently watching the crowd all game, despite him being clearly in Morocco. National. And he turns round and he turns back and he just weeps, crying his eyes out. It's what football's about, isn't it?
Good on them though. They've been brilliant.
Well, it makes them the first African team in history to make the final four.
So they were the first African team ever to pick up a point at the World Cup. First African team ever to get out the group stage at a World Cup.
Oh, so what the first points was a previous?
Yeah, so 1970.
Yeah,
first time they'd ever an African team had ever picked up a.
I don't know. Let me write these questions down. They can be quiz questions with debate there.
1986, they were the first African team to either win a game or get out of the group. And then, obviously, this year, first African team ever to get to the final four of the World Cup.
No, I was talking to my missus about this. Mexico have got to the semis before, haven't they?
I don't think so.
No?
No,
because I'm trying to work it out whether it was just Oceania that was left now then to make a final four. Because obviously Asia have.
It has to be Asia have. It has to be Oceania. Then the chances
but I just think that's just mad that we are almost at a World Cup.
I did say I don't know if I said it in my World Cup predictions. An African team would do well. I just had a feeling they'd do an African team would do well. I didn't think it'd be Morocco.
You did mention it. Yeah, I think you did mention it.
I thought it would have been Ghana.
But how didn't everyone love it when Leicester went and won the Premier League? This is going to be another story for the World Cup. The neutrals, everyone's behind.
It'd be amazing. It'd be amazing if they did it.
Mexico never made it to a semi-final, so now I'm assuming North America never have then, because I'm just double checking.
Yeah, so North America and Oceania.
So yeah. Oh,
it'd be unbelievable if.
Oh no! Sorry, Morocco. That's a lie. Technically, do you count it at 1930 though?
Yeah, you do count it, don't you?
Well, actually no, because there wasn't semi-finals, wasn't there? It was like a league, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. Was it? Was it not just?
I don't think it wasn't.
Teams doing straight knockout.
No, I don't think it was. So, no, it was. No, it was. Sorry, it was groups. It was groups and groups. It was like there was multiple groups, and then it was but it was then straight to semi-finals. So yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it would. I mean, if we've got to include it, so yeah, it would be just Oceania left now. Mad that Africa took so long, considering North America have had it since 1930.
Yeah. Come on, Oceania, catch up with the rest of us.
But Australia aren't there.
Yeah, it's
include Australia now because they play in the Japanese in the
they're Asian now, aren't they? So it's on New Zealand.
Who's dogs whining? Is that your step?
It's mine.
I was gonna say it doesn't sound very Reg-like. But yeah, we love it.
He just lays there.
He does. Like a good little bitch he is. I think we'll round off that talk, boys. But
yeah, a good one.
That went longer than I expected again because we get excited, don't we? Let's be honest.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
One question though. In fact, two questions. Who would you like to win the World Cup?
Morocco.
Who do you think's gonna win the World Cup?
Sadly, Argentina.
I think France are gonna do it. I think France are the strongest team there.
I think France as well. But
we did say the winner of the England-France game would get it.
Question. One last question. Well, do you know this fact? If it's a fact. Have we ever had two World Cup finals in a row with the exact same teams?
I don't think we have. And I was thinking about this earlier.
Could we have Croatia versus France? That could be huge.
We could have it again. Repeat of last World Cup final.
I just can't imagine Croatia being world champions. It'd be mental.
Yeah.
It's been a weird one, boys. It's been one of my favourites, though, despite it being in Qatar and all the other political bollocks that comes with it.
I think football-wise, entertainment-wise, it's been my favourite World Cup ever.
Oh yeah, I think it's definitely up there, mate. It's definitely.
I don't know about ever, but it's definitely up there.
shockers and that. I love a shocker, and there's been
it definitely helped that England played well and we played entertaining football as England. I think
Germany went out.
And Germany went out,
and Argentina lost.
Yeah, to Saudi Arabia. So I mean, it was Scotland weren't there. It was almost
Wales
perfect.
was shit, which we all expected.
See, I've
loved it.
I have a soft spot for Wales. I let them off there. So
I do. It's called my arsehole.
And
wow,
we've got to see.
Wow, you're looking at your arsehole.
We got to see Ronaldo cry.
Oh, perfect way to end, and perfect way to end the game, the World Cup, and this podcast. And thank you very much, guys. Please make sure, if you manage to listen to all this, please, for the love of God, go watch another 20 minutes and just go check out the CGH video.
Yes, please do.
That was probably less dumbassery and more actual, like, hey, it actually makes you think. And check out CGH in the description below. And please like, share, subscribe, and we will catch you in the next one.
See you later.
See ya.